So what is the difference between being a people pleaser versus just being really nice? I get asked this question a lot in my workshops, and it's no wonder that women are confused about this, because with all of the societal expectations placed on us to be pleasing and to meet the expectations and needs of others, combined with what we were raised to believe about ourselves and about the roles that we were expected to play in our relationships, and in our communities and families, etc., our view on this can get pretty messed up. So let's take a couple of minutes together today to get some clarity on this. And I'd like to begin by acknowledging that all human beings want to feel loved and valued, especially in close relationships. This is because we are social creatures who want to belong, and a sense of belonging and connection is integral to our self-esteem. So as a result, we will sometimes adapt our behavior to create stronger social connections, whether it be in the context of our intimate family, work, or community. We can sometimes get this need met through helping others, aka being nice or being kind, which means that we make a decision to sacrifice some of our own personal precious resources like time, energy, and money for the good of another. But what distinguishes helping others for the greater good, or to be nice or kind, and people-pleasing is that people-pleasing is very hard to stop. A person with a strong urge to please others may believe that in order to be loved and accepted, they must be and do whatever other people want them to be and do. So this means that they will cover up how they really feel and agree to do things that they don't want to do, don't have the time to do, don't have the energy to do, don't have the money to do, but they will agree to do it in order to gain acceptance. And so while they may feel good about doing something for someone else in the moment, that feeling is usually temporary, and it's often overshadowed by feelings of exhaustion, frustration, resentment, as they have fewer and fewer resources like money, time, and energy to take care of their own needs. So here are some things that people pleasers struggle with. They often struggle with a fear of rejection or not being liked if they don't do the things they're being asked to do. They may worry about coming across as mean if they say no. They may feel selfish and guilty for putting their needs ahead of others. They may have a very strong preoccupation with what others think and feel, and they often take other people's actions very personally. They will neglect their own needs, they seek approval, and they often get into relationships that they give a lot more to than they get back. Oftentimes they have a hyperactive sense of responsibility, which subjects them to overwhelm and could eventually, all of these things lead to burnout. So I was a people pleaser for most of my life, and I wasn't even aware of it. It wasn't until I crashed into a very serious case of burnout that I began to work on healing my relationship with myself. And it was only then that I was able to gain control over my people-pleasing tendencies. And it's still an ongoing journey. It's still something that I have to pay very close attention to. So before burnout, I had essentially been living my life in what I call a trance, so in a lack of awareness. I had no idea really who I was, what my values were, etc. And I certainly didn't really understand or recognize what I wanted or needed. I was just simply going through the motions of life, putting one foot in front of the other, and doing what I thought everyone expected of me, or doing what I thought I needed to do in order to be loved and accepted. And so I realized that I defined my self-worth by my ability to make other people happy, which meant disconnecting from what I wanted and needed and putting everybody else's needs ahead of my own. All the while, I was stuffing down emotions like frustration, resentment, etc., with different vices like binge watching television, drinking wine, eating chocolate, comforting myself or numbing myself with those things and squishing those feelings down. And if I did try to express myself and assert myself and my needs, they would sometimes explode out of me at the most inopportune times due to a lot of repressed anger and resentment. Or the whole process of communicating what I needed and wanted felt very awkward and clumsy and selfish. And so after I would assert myself, then I would beat myself up. I would feel guilty. I would feel shame. I would second guess myself, etc. So all of this discomfort eventually would cause me to go back to those people-pleasing behaviors, because as self-destructive as they were what I knew, and they were what I felt comfortable doing. And on this cycle went until burnout. So looking back on all of it now, I am extremely grateful for the experience of burnout. Burnout actually turned out to be a gift to me, because as strange as that sounds, it was my experience with burnout that transformed my life and brought me into a place of renewed passion and purpose. It brought me into alignment after I did a lot of work on examining my life, getting clear on what I wanted, what I needed, what I valued. And burnout granted me the permission I needed to start making myself a priority, because I had no choice. I had let it go so far for so long. So, emotionally and physically, I was experiencing a lot of dis-ease. So I'm just wondering if you recognize any of your own tendencies towards people-pleasing in this post. And if you're ready to start changing your relationship with yourself, it really requires getting clear on what you need, dissolving certain beliefs that you have about your capacity to love and be loved by yourself and others, and really gently starting to examine your relationship with yourself and with others. And showing other people just like you how to overcome their people-pleasing tendencies is part of what I am so passionate about in my business, in showing women how to overcome stress and overwhelm and experience greater joy, peace, and energy. So if you're ready to let go of people-pleasing, if you're ready for healing, please reach out to me. I offer a 30-minute free consultation, which you can book by hitting the link below. And I also run workshops, both online and in person. So if you go to my social media channels like Instagram or Facebook, if you're local, you'll see what's coming up. And please, please, please remember that self-care is not selfish. Loving and honoring yourself is your birthright. You are entitled to it. You deserve it. And I want you to remember that.